Hi guys, this is Kumar. Today we are going to learn about physical and chemical properties. So as you know, everything is made up of matter, and matter is of two types, one mixture and the pure substance. So pure substance can be either element or compound. An element and compound is a unique in some way from all others. So if you know enough about a substance, you can figure out what it is. So that is kind of fingerprinting for the element or a compound. If you know what a substance is, you can know all types of things about it. So when I'm saying all types of thing, I'm talking about properties. So what are properties? Property is a kind of description of an object. So if I say the tree is tall or the tree is having green leaves, and if it's struck by a lightning, the tree could catch fire, I'm talking about the properties of a tree. So any description of an object gives you a property. So all the matter has two types of properties, one physical properties and the chemical properties. So let's look into further detail what the physical and chemical properties are. So to make it simple, physical properties are determined by the use of the five things, and they are sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. So anything which you can do with your five senses, that's a kind of physical properties. So physical property is a characteristic of a substance that can be observed without changing the substance into another substance. So if I say there is an orange, even if I cut that into two pieces, it will still remain an orange. So you can see it without changing that what you are looking at into something else. So that's a physical property. So physical properties can be extensive or intensive. So what are extensive properties? Extensive properties depend on the amount of a substance that you have, that how much amount of a substance you have, the extensive property depend upon that. But intensive means it does not depend on how much you have that substance. So the physical properties can be two types, extensive and intensive. So some of the examples for extensive physical properties include volume, mass, weight. So that means it depends upon how much you have. So if you have a smaller amount of substance, the mass and the weight of that substance will be low. So that depends upon the amount, how much you have that substance. So that is the extensive properties. And some examples about the intensive physical properties are density, melting point, boiling point. I will be discussing these in detail, but these things does not depend upon how much quantity you have. So even a small quantity will be having the same density, melting point, or boiling point as compared to the quantity if you have in a large amount. So the intensive physical properties like density, melting point, and boiling point, they do not depend upon the amount of the substance. So let's look at some of the examples of physical properties. They are color, smell, taste, hardness, state of matter, that whether it is solid, liquid, or gas, boiling point, freezing point, or melting point. So these are some of the examples for physical properties. Density, mass, volume, malleability, the ability to be molded into thin sheets. Solubility, it's the ability to be dissolved. So let's look at some of the special properties of matter. Malleability, it's the ability to be hammered into thin sheets. Ductility, its ability to be drawn into thin wires or the fine wires. Elasticity, its ability to be stretched without breaking and it go back to the original shape. The example are the rubber bands. If you stretch it, it won't break up to a limit and it can go back to the original position or the shape. Conductivity, its ability to let the heat and electricity pass through it. And it, the insulators are the material that are not conductors, like rubber, wood. So these are some of the insulators. And those things which let the heat and electricity pass easily are some of the metals. Brittleness, it easily breaks into pieces, fragile or delicate. Viscosity, viscosity is resists to flowing, like flows slowly. For example, honey, it has more viscous as compared to water, that it honey does not resist for flowing. Hardness, it can resist being scratched by another material, so it's called as hardness. And the hardness is on Mohs scale, and diamond is rated 10 on the hardest material. So diamond, which is a form of carbon, is the hardest mineral. Tenacity, it's the resistance being pulled apart. So stone, you can't pull them apart. It has really more tenacity as compared to the rubber. Plasticity, its ability to be shaped, molded in different ways. Like clay, rubber, plastic, they are more having the plasticity. Luster, shiny ability to reflect light, like some of the metals have. Silver, gold, they have a luster. Flexibility, its ability to bend without breaking. Combustibility, its ability to burn, used for fuel, like wood, gasoline. Magnetism, its ability to attract iron. Solubility, its ability to be dissolved in water or any solvent. So anything which is get dissolved is called as, yes, solute.